What's good, everyone? New video. Hope that all of you guys enjoyed my past video that I made last week. Pretty much going over how calisthenics could save your life. Wrong. Well, it's the morning, but I hope everyone's having a good morning. Today is actually going to be me touching on the topic of calisthenics aura. I think calisthenics aura is something that is very related to beginners and advanced calisthenics athletes, like professionals. So yeah, let's just hop right into it. I appreciate all of you that have been staying up to date with the past videos, watching them all the way through. Everything helps. All the support helps, so I appreciate all that. Instant Calisthenics, 15 are still available. Link is going to be in the bio. Everything is cut and sew, made from scratch. Very high quality, high ticket price, and everything goes to support the sport of freestyle calisthenics. And so don't just look at it like as an outfit or like a piece of art instead of just clothing. But to hop into it, calisthenics aura. The first one that I wanted to touch on was social media perception versus real training. And so with social media, this is a big one. So social media is huge nowadays, and people love to post their highlights on social media. And so, as a regular user of, say, Instagram or any social media, you go on there and you see everyone's highlights. You don't technically go on there and see, how people are training, their fails that they may have when training, or any of the hard parts. A lot of people like to focus on, only the good things. And when other people are watching, only the good things of that said person, it can create a fake aura in that sense. Like, where with calisthenics and beginners, a lot of these beginners like to clip farm and say, like, do something that's super simple in front of a crowd and get the crowd's attention, and then the crowd's like, oh my gosh, and then really it's like somebody doing something that's could be impressive, could not be impressive to like the professional athlete that is competing. But realistically, that takes calisthenics into a different way of only being like, oh, that's just some crazy thing that some kids can do, versus like, no, this is like a real sport, and there's actually really hard skills that you can obtain when doing freestyle calisthenics, and it kind of changes the demeanor of that aura of that person. It's like, okay, well, are you just going to be clout chasing, or are you actually going to train, put in the work, compete, and put in a good name for not only yourself but the sport in that sense? And so yeah, social media is a big one because you don't see everybody's training, and you definitely do not see everyone's fails. You only see people's highlights and good things about them, making it seem like they're the top of the town, but really in all reality they're not, because of look at the amount of time someone's been training, look at the achievements that they really have been able to obtain within a professional level, not a beginner level. Like, I think another thing is, I look at a lot of these like new coming calisthenics athletes, and it's one thing if you want to be a social media calisthenics athlete where you just clip farm and do all these things, but it's another thing when you actually go, you train, and you compete, and then you win. So it's like that's a totally different respect level than just being like, oh, I can planche, but I've never competed and I've never won. Versus an athlete that's like, I can planche, I've competed, and I've won first place. And so it's kind of like that, like, who do you have more respect for at that point? 2, Aura in calisthenics. This is just straight up kind of just touched on this. Aura in calisthenics. Aura in calisthenics is not being able to just do the hardest skill and then go out in public and then do it in front of everybody. That would be aura farming, you know, and like that's not a bad thing for, you know, maybe you or just to get your name out there for certain things. But when it all reverts back to the sport, who you actually are and what you're actually doing it for, that's what actually can hinder the sport in that sense, because people will look at it and see like, oh well, you know, this is what calisthenics is. It's just being able to do some shit in front of people and then get aura for it. And that's not what freestyle calisthenics is at all. It was never about aura farming. It was never about going in front of public just to like do like a certain skill to make people think you're cool. No, it was about, you know, challenging yourself. It was about mastering your body weight, being able to compete, feeling good in your body, and being able to just be in good health. Have something different to challenge yourself other than just lifting weights in a gym. Even though lifting weights in a gym is good, you know, it's just a different way to challenge yourself, but it wasn't ever meant to be used in a sense of clout. It was meant to be used to show people what their true capabilities in life is. And so it just kind of goes about like, you know, for all these, you know, newer calisthenics athletes, don't worry so much about the aura, because the aura comes with real achievement. And then that's my next one actually. So real achievement in calisthenics. So real achievement in calisthenics, like I was just saying, isn't really being able to go in public and, you know, do a planche or do a handstand or do whatever. It's really being able to, one, take what you've learned off all of those hard training sessions, out of all those times that you might have failed, take all of that, master it, compete it, so that when people are watching you compete it, then they're like, wow, you know, he's in a sport, he's competing these skills that he's worked hard in. That brings real aura, that brings true, you know, credibility to who you are as an athlete. And so it's like, I'm really speaking about all the people that are like, well, I can planche. Cool, bro. Can you compete in front of hundreds, if not thousands of people and do the same thing and win? Because if you can't, then you should really stop running your mouth. That's my opinion. But that's kind of what I think about that. Real achievement comes from actually being able to compete. Real achievement is being able to lift other people up. Real achievement is growing something that's bigger than you, but not acting like you're the shit because you've obtained one skill and then use it to clip farm. The next one is the foundation behind advanced skills. Now, kind of touched on this a little bit, but you know, with beginners in clip farming and aura, it's like they chase this one skill. Say it's the planche. Planche is known to be a hard skill, so a lot of them will chase this planche, right? And they'll get the planche and they'll be like, I'm the best. Like, you can't planche, I can planche. Oh, I've only been doing calisthenics for a year, I can planche. I'm gonna clip farm, I'm gonna aura, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna get people to think that I'm cool. When it's like, bro, you can planche. You know, it's like there's a lot more to freestyle calisthenics than just planche. You know, it's like if you even go to compete and all you know how to do is planche, you will lose. That's just what happens. You'll lose if you just planche your way out of everything. You know, it's not how you actually win. It's not about that. And so, you know, that's why it's super important, and I you know, really push this on beginners and, you know, influencer calisthenics athletes to push themselves a little bit more outside their box of just having 1 or 2 skills, thinking that they're amazing, and then never competing. You know, it's like if you want to go compete and push yourself in that way, respect to you, that is commendable. If you do well, if you maybe you don't win, you still went and you still pushed yourself outside of your comfort zone, which other people will see, and that is commendable. It's about pushing yourself, you know, outside of your comfort zone, not just getting a skill and going on social media and trying to clout chase at that point. So, because that's what actually ruins the sport. It's not about, oh, look at this one thing that I can do. It's, okay, well, if you want people to look at that one thing that you can do, go compete that thing and win. Okay? That's my advice. But to do so, you needed that foundation of training for a while to then lead into that. The last one, also slightly touched on this one, was earning respect through consistency and competition. Now, in freestyle calisthenics, when I started and I was learning all these skills and I was meeting new people, you know, yeah, you start to gain the respect of some people, but it wasn't truly until like I went to my first competition and I won, and then I went to another one and I won that one, and then I went to another one and I won that one, and then I went to another one and I won that one. It's like I've won multiple first place competitions, and the thing is that's because I busted my ass to do so. It wasn't that I got one skill and then acted like I knew everything on social media and then trying to be like that guy. You know, it's like, no, I went, I've trained, I've done this sport for 9 years, and I fully came back from a torn pec tendon when I was at the top of my game. So it's like, you know, but the whole thing is, the whole time I was competing, the whole time I was going and I was trying to make more of the sport in that sense. And so realistically, I think calisthenics is an amazing sport. Freestyle calisthenics is an amazing sport. Like in my last videos, I've seen people completely 180 their life when starting to do freestyle calisthenics or just calisthenics in general for their health. You know, if they were addicts or whatnot, this really changes your life for the better. It puts you in a healthier mindset, a challenge mindset, and that's what a lot of guys like to have because it feels rewarding. And so I would say, you know, the biggest thing with calisthenics and aura is you don't truly have any aura in calisthenics unless you've competed and you've won. That's it. If you can planche, you can planche. If you can do a few skills, you can do a few skills. But if you have never taken that to a competition and won first place, then quite frankly, I don't think your aura is where your aura level is at, or where you think it might be at. And so, with that being said, you know, obviously, I love everyone that goes into calisthenics, pushes themselves, get into a better mindset, healthier lifestyle, everything like that. But it's really about also giving the respect to all the professionals that truly went out and have done this already and are at a higher tier than, you know, a lot of these influencer social media athletes that can do one skill. So with that being said, obviously, just know I love and support all of you guys. If clip farming is what you love to do, you know what, I'm not gonna stop you from clip farming. Just keep doing your thing. But all I want to do is advise you to, you know, get into a competition, push yourself, challenge yourself, you know, go for that first place. Because if calisthenics, freestyle calisthenics is something that you love and you want to push for something, this sport to be greater, you know, go and push yourself, get a first place win. You know, that's what I advise. But for you guys that know, Instant Calisthenics, this is the hoodie. Got the joggers on right here. Like I said, I love the pockets in this thing, and in these things, the joggers, zipper pockets. The quality of this clothing is not like anything I've ever had before. It's not just clothing. I want you guys to look at it as more of a piece of art in that sense, and something like you might not wear, but you'll care for it. You know what I'm saying? Because all the outfits that are being purchased, all the donations that are donated, everything, it's leading the sport into a better direction to where athletes can learn how to do this sport. Athletes can, progress in this sport. The thing is like I said, I've been doing this sport for 9 years. I have multiple first place wins, and I just want to see, not only my generation, but the younger generation grow and flourish and have a sport that they can look forward to, and not just feel that, all they have is social media to go and, aura farm or clout chase. I want people to look forward to their future, and I want people to be able to be like, you know what, I do freestyle calisthenics, I'm a professional athlete, and I get paid to do this. And with every one of your guys' purchase, with my outfits, with the donations, and more that's actually going to be coming out this month, like I said, I value all the support from everyone, and I just want to see this sport grow into something that I wish when I was a kid. And I'm going to be able to do all of that with your guys' help. So I appreciate all the support. Thank you for listening. I hope you guys have a really good day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.